The book of Joshua, chapter 15. Now the lot for the tribe of the sons of Judah according to their families reached the border of Edom, southward to the wilderness of Zin at the extreme south. Their south border was from the lower end of the Salt Sea, from the bay that turns to the south. Then it proceeded southward to the ascent of Akrabim, and continued to Zin, then went up by the south of Kadesh Barnea, and continued to Hezron, and went up to Adar, and turned about to Karka. It continued to Asmon, and proceeded to the brook of Egypt, and the border ended at the sea. This shall be your south border. The east border was the Salt Sea, as far as the mouth of the Jordan, and the border of the north side was from the bay of the sea at the mouth of the Jordan. Then the border went up to Beth-hoglah, and continued on the north of Beth-arabah, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben. The border went up to Debir from the valley of Achor, and turned northward toward Gilgal, which is opposite the ascent of Adumim, which is on the south of the valley. And the border continued to the waters of En-shemesh, and it ended at En-rogel. Then the border went up the valley of Ben-hinnom to the slope of the Jebusite on the south, that is Jerusalem, and the border went up to the top of the mountain which is before the valley of Hinnom to the west, which is at the end of the valley of Rephaim toward the north. From the top of the mountain the border curved to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, and proceeded to the cities of Mount Ephron. Then the border curved to Baalah, that is Kiriath-jearim. The border turned about from Baalah westward to Mount Seir, and continued to the slope of Mount Jearim on the north, that is Cheshalon, and went down to Beth-shemesh, and continued through Timnah. The border proceeded to the side of Ekron northward. Then the border curved to Shikkeron, and continued to Mount Baalah, and proceeded to Jabneel, and the border ended at the sea. The west border was at the great sea, even its coastline. This is the border around the sons of Judah, according to their families. Now he gave to Caleb the son of Jephunneh a portion among the sons of Judah, according to the command of the Lord to Joshua, namely, Kiriath-arba, Arba being the father of Anak, that is Hebron. Caleb drove out from there the three sons of Anak, Shishai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. Then he went up from there against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir formerly was Kiriath-sepher. And Caleb said, The one who attacks Kiriath-sepher and captures it, I will give him Achsah my daughter as a wife. Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, captured it. So he gave him Achsah his daughter as a wife. It came about that when she came to him, she persuaded him to ask her father for a field. So she alighted from the donkey, and Caleb said to her, What do you want? Then she said, Give me a blessing. Since you have given me the land of the Negev, give me also springs of water. So he gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the sons of Judah, according to their families. Now the cities of the extremity of the tribe of the sons of Judah toward the border of Edom in the south were Kabzeel, and Eder, and Jagur, and Kina, and Dimonah, and Adadah, and Kadesh, and Hazor, and Ithnan, Ziph, and Telem, and Bealoth, and Hazor Hatadah, and Kirioth Hezron, that is Hazor, Amam, and Shema, and Moladah, and Hazar Gadah, and Heshmon, and Beth Pelet, and Hazar Shual, and Beersheba, and Biziothaiah, Baalah, and Aim, and Ezem, and Eltolad, and Chizel, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Madmanah, and Sansannah, and Lebeoth, and Shilhim, and Ain, and Rimmon. In all 29 cities with their villages. In the lowland, Eshtaol, and Zorah, and Ashnah, and Zonawah, and En-ganim, Tappuah, and Enam, Jarmuth, and Adullam, Soko, and Azekah, and Sharaim, and Adithaim, and Gederah, and Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages. Zenan, and Hadashah, and Migdal-gad, and Dalian, and Mizpah, and Joktheel, Lachish, and Bozkath, and Eglon, and Kabon, and Lamas, and Chitlish, and Gideroth, Beth-dagon, and Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages. Libnah, and Ether, and Ashan, and Iphthah, and Ashnah, and Nizib, and Keilah, and Achzib, and Mareshah, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron with its towns and its villages, from Ekron even to the sea, all that were by the side of Ashdod, with their villages. Ashdod, its towns and its villages, Gaza, its towns and its villages, as far as the brook of Egypt and the great sea, even its coastline. In the hill country, Shamir and Jatir and Soko and Dana and Kiriath Sanah, that is Debir, and Enab and Eshtemo and Anim and Goshen and Holon and Kailo, 11 cities with their villages. Arab and Duma and Ishan and Janum and Beth Tappuah and Aphekah and Humta and Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Meon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Halhul, Bethzur, and Gedor, and Maarath, and Beth-Anoth, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their villages. Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Araba, Midin, and Sekaka, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. Now as for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the sons of Judah could not drive them out. So the Jebusites live with the sons of Judah at Jerusalem until this day. Chapter 16. Then the lot for the sons of Joseph went from the Jordan at Jericho to the waters of Jericho on the east into the wilderness, going up from Jericho through the hill country to Bethel. It went from Bethel to Luz, and continued to the border of the Archites at Ataroth. It went down westward to the territory of the Japhletites, as far as the territory of Lower Beth-horon, even to Gezer, and it ended at the sea. The sons of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim received their inheritance. Now this was the territory of the sons of Ephraim according to their families. The border of their inheritance eastward was Ataroth-Adar, as far as Upper Beth-horon. Then the border went westward at Mikmethath on the north, and the border turned about eastward to Teanath-Shiloh, and continued beyond it to the east of Janoah. It went down from Janoah to Ataroth and to Naarah, then reached Jericho, and came out at the Jordan. From Tappuah the border continued westward to the brook of Kanah, and it ended at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the sons of Ephraim according to their families, together with the cities which were set apart for the sons of Ephraim in the midst of the inheritance of the sons of Manasseh. All the cities were their villages. But they did not drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer, so the Canaanites live in the midst of Ephraim to this day, and they became forced laborers. Chapter 17. Now this was the lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. To Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, were allotted Gilead and Bashan, because he was a man of war. So the lot was made for the rest of the sons of Manasseh according to their families, for the sons of Abiezer, and for the sons of Helek, and for the sons of Asriel, and for the sons of Shechem, and for the sons of Hepher, and for the sons of Shemida. These were the male descendants of Manasseh the son of Joseph, according to their families. However, Zelophehad the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, only daughters. And these are the names of his daughters, Mahlah, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They came near before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the leaders, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brothers. So according to the command of the Lord he gave them an inheritance among their father's brothers. Thus there fell 10 portions to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which is beyond the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh received an inheritance among his sons. And the land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the sons of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh ran from Asher to Mikmethath, which was east of Shechem. Then the border went southward to the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. The land of Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the sons of Ephraim. The border went down to the brook of Cana, southward of the brook. These cities belonged to Ephraim among the cities of Manasseh. And the border of Manasseh was on the north side of the brook, and it ended at the sea. The south side belonged to Ephraim, and the north side to Manasseh. And the sea was their border. And they reached to Asher on the north, and to Issachar on the east. In Issachar and in Asher, Manasseh had Bethshean and its towns, and Ibleam and its towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Taanach and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns. The third is Naphith. But the sons of Manasseh could not take possession of these cities, because the Canaanites persisted in living in that land. It came about when the sons of Israel became strong, they put the Canaanites to forced labor, but they did not drive them out completely. Then the sons of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, Why have you given me only one lot and one portion for an inheritance, since I am a numerous people whom the Lord has thus far blessed? Joshua said to them, If you are a numerous people, go up to the forest and clear a place for yourself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the Rephaim, since the hill country of Ephraim is too narrow for you. The sons of Joseph said, The hill country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who live in the valley land have chariots of iron, both those who are in Bethshean and its towns, and those who are in the valley of Jezreel. Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, to Ephraim and Manasseh, saying, You are a numerous people, and have great power. You shall not have one lot only, but the hill country shall be yours. For though it is a forest, you shall clear it, and to its farthest borders it shall be yours. For you shall drive out the Canaanites, even though they have chariots of iron, and though they are strong.